Is X-Force going to die like the cover says? If so, that would be the shortest run of X-Force ever. No, X-Force is not going to die. But somebody's going to have to get clapped. And in saying that, with no resurrection program, it's a little different. My name is Dory. This is SCM Comics. We are continuing our coverage of X-Force number 5. Our story starts off with X-Force beating the Black Avengers. And Tempest, who is Storm, is like, Forge. And Forge is looking like, yeah. And she goes, you So let this be a lesson. Don't piss off a black woman. Especially a black woman that can control the weather on any planet she chooses to. So Storm, or Tempest, goes, Captain Assyria, take point. Attack Assyria. No, these aren't the Black Avengers. These are the African Avengers. I mean, I guess you could say Assyria is more Middle East than it is Africa, but it is really close Africa. Like, really close. So Tempest jumps on Forge like he owes her money. And Horus, which is our Egyptian Thor, is all over Tank. So our White Panther, why does he need to be black when everybody else is black on the team, is attacking Sage. Iron Knight is attacking Rachel. Now, you would think this would be a black Tony Stark, but no, this is Rhodey. Captain Assyria is attacking Betsy. Tank is getting his get back for Horus slapping the bejesus out of him. And Betsy reads her minds and comes up with a plan to hopefully stop the fight. So Storm, who is Tempest in their world, is all over Forge. She's like, traitor, betrayer. She's like, you court me, you pledge your love to me, you give me a child, and then you disappear. So Forge is pretty much a deadbeat dad. So Storm's like, you better give me some child support or I'm gonna take your life. And Forge is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not him. So then Forge converts his hand and shoots Storm with some kind of laser blast, or Tempest. She falls to the ground, and all of a sudden Surge comes up and she's like, solve the problem. Seal the fracture, Forge. And he's like, I don't think I need to do all that. And she's like, good. I've seen enough killing, Forge. And he's like, we all have. So as Bessie raised her minds, she's like, these people have like a reverence when it comes to the Phoenix. So let's bring out the Phoenix. And that's exactly what they do. As Rachel taps into her Phoenix powers. Kind of, not really. Like, she used to be a part of the Phoenix. Like, she used to have the Phoenix all the time. But now, that's with Jean. So this is just more or less an illusion. But it does work because they bowed down to the Phoenix. So now that everybody got cooler heads, they pretty much asked African Avengers, Black Avengers, whatever you want to call them, exactly what's going on and why they're there. And they explain pretty much the same thing that happened on our world, that Nucleus was wrecking shop, pretty much beat up Man-Thing, which is the nexus of our reality. Next thing you know, they're here. Pretty much everybody's in agreement that Nucleus needs to be destroyed. All of a sudden, Man-Thing appears. Now, I don't know if this is our Man-Thing, 616, or is it the African Man-Thing? I don't know, but he shows up, and all of a sudden, Nucleus shows up. So now both teams are working together, and they get right to it, and they go to attack him. All of a sudden, that symbol appears in front of Nucleus, and he disappears again. So Forge uses the analog, and now he's like, I know what the fracture is. Nucleus is connected to the dimensional of the nexus of all realities. So I guess he's somehow linked to Man-Thing now. And he's opening different portals. If he opens up 3, and only 3, then they'll stay open, and his monsters will keep coming into the world and pretty much destroy it. So Sage, which reminds a supercomputer, is going through the different places where he could pop up. He could pop up at Fantastic Four Tower, which is, I guess, a Nexus, but he's not going there. He can go to Doom Castle. He's not going to go there. He's not going to show up at the Russian Gate, or he's not going to show up at the Chinese Whirlpool. But then she realizes exactly where he's going to show up. And that is the Asgardian Loki opening in Canada. So before we go there, we see monsters popping up all around the world. They're dealing with them in Taiwan. Our X-Men, our normal X-Men, are dealing with them in Alaska. I like that brand synergy right there. They're dealing with them at the Gulf of Guinea, and they're also dealing with them in Canada. So thanks to Horus, they pull up, and now the Avengers and X-Force are there to wreck some shop. So as they're fighting, Sage is thinking to herself that some kind of Persian field general in 1871 says, no optimal plan extends with any certainty beyond the first encounter with the main enemy force. She says 20 years later, Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. As they encounter Nucleo, and he is bigger than ever. So they're like, what we gonna do now? And Tempest was like, come on, Iron Knight. We need to do what we need to do. We need to attack. And as soon as they do, Nucleo blasts them in the face, and Storm or Tempest and Iron Knight, they're gone. So then Surge is like, well, it's down to me then. And Sage is like, no, we need to do something else. We need to figure out another way. Like, Forge need to build something. And Forge is like, it's too late. So Surge starts to build up all this electricity. Forge uses his hand cannon to pretty much amplify what Surge is already building up. And they hit Nucleo with it. It pretty much takes out Nucleo. But Surge is fricasseed. She is dead. Dead. So Forge is like taking off her gloves. Things like the fracture is sealed. And Sage is like, did you just recruit her? Did you know this was going to happen? And he was like, she was recruited to do a job, and this comes with the job. So then Sage is like, you know what? I got this. You, Forge, I quit. Forge is normally an asshole, but now it's a really big asshole. Like, I was actually feeling bad during the Krakoan era when he was on the X-Men and he was getting clapped by them Stark Sentinels. I mean, clapped. I don't feel so bad now. Now I'm like, you deserve every bit of that.